Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. We've got your daily reading here for Tuesday, April the 22nd, 2025. Let's see what we've got for you guys today. Not a super active day in the skies necessarily. We do have the moon still in Aquarius all the way up until about 10 o'clock Pacific time, which is about 7 o'clock Eastern time. But we do have, we've got a trine, we've got a sextile, we've got some good energies right up until what's going to be close to the dinner hour, 2:55 p.m. to be exact in Pacific time, which is the dinner hour, 5:55 at Eastern time. And so we have a square with the moon in Aquarius, with Aquarius's ruler Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So a square is a complete disagreement. We're not talking to each other. We're not willing to see each other's sides, right? We're squared off with something. And because Uranus is in Taurus, this can be something about money, the future of your money. So there could be something here that is a little bit challenging, to say the least, in the evening. And sometimes when something is quite challenging, something's got to give. So this can be a little bit of a stuck energy. It's like, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree for the moment and just leave this subject alone. So if there is a subject that does evolve around money, especially income of all kinds, possessions, how you spend your money, how you make your money, all these things that Taurus represents the second house, you may be best off to have that conversation tomorrow. Okay. Just don't even engage in that, because it's probably not going to resolve itself and probably make the matter worse, perhaps. Okay. But some of you could also be really seeing maybe where you are stuck, and this can maybe help you out if you're trying to make any important decisions. All right. And you're stuck. So we've got the Nine of Swords coming out here for you. So Nine of Swords. Yeah. We're worried about something. We've got the Eight of Wands. We want to move forward. We want to move quickly. And we've got a Six of Pentacles here as well. So there is something preying on your mind potentially here with this. It can be money. It can be a lack of money. It can be that someone's being stubborn. We do have a Five of Pentacles at the back of the deck. Okay, there is help and resources and opportunities available. We always have a light shining in that cathedral window. However, we're not focused on that. We're focused on what we don't have. So there could be some unexpected expenditures or some unexpected money issues that do come up. When we've got the back of the deck, this can be an underlying influence. So motivated for more money, or motivated to resolve some issues with our finances, or something that's lacking in our world. Okay, this can also represent something that you don't see, but something that's beneath the surface. Okay, or there can be a little bit of a surprise. But with the Nine of Swords here, there could be something that you do already know about that we need to deal with today. Okay, whether it's, sometimes the Nine of Swords, yes, we're anxious. Maybe there's something keeping you awake at night, or just preventing, what we want to be a peaceful feeling. We're worried, we're afraid, and, we quite often can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It is a very, Eight and Nine of Swords, very self-imposed restriction, right? Our thoughts take over, and not usually in a positive way, especially in the middle of the night, and that is, beginning of the day. So there could be something, maybe you had a bad dream. This can be something where you are looking at the future and there's some anxiety building up there. And it can be something just you personally, it can be global thing, or it can be something in a relationship. So the thing is with the Nine of Swords, it is an overthinking energy and overanalyzing energy. And often what happens when we get things out in the open, when we bring things out into the light of the day, things aren't quite as scary as what we build them up in our mind to be, because now we know. Now we know how someone's going to react. Now we know what the answer might be. Now we might know or see things a little bit differently in the night of the day. The things that go bump and creak in the night, Nine of Swords, are always amplified in a more scary or negative way than they are during the day. So shine a light on your problem, look at the big picture, maybe talk about something if you need to. Remember, we've got some good energy throughout the day. We're working together, we're talking, we're getting things done. So it's just that evening hours there where we have that squaring off energy. So if you're going to deal with something, especially if you need to communicate, Eight of Wands, great communication there. Okay, then earlier in the day is the better time to do it. If you're on the Eastern time zone, sometime before 3 o'clock, okay, maybe somewhere around like 11 o'clock or something, or noon, and give something some time to play out there, okay? But we do have the Eight of Swords, so we have the ability to move past our problems, move past our issues. How? Focus on a solution and focus on positive communication. And when we do that, right, you see how we're stuck here? We're like, oh my goodness, I'm verklempt. I'm not feeling good. I'm all wrapped up in a little bundle, right? I want to hide. I want to squirrel my way from the world. But the Eight of Wands, we're like, I'm confident I'm going to get this done. So a huge difference in our communication and in our actions, and also in our outlook. And what happens when we embrace that? Six of Pentacles, right? We get something back. Something comes back to us in a positive way. So remember that whatever you put out there, whatever energy, whatever information, whatever help, whatever questions you put out there, right? Whatever intentions you put out there, they do flow back to you. So do you want to put out the Nine of Swords intentions and energy, or do you want to put out the Eight of Wands energy and intentions? I know which ones I want to put out, right? Eight of Wands all day long. So that Six of Pentacles, something comes back to you in a positive way. So with the Six of Pentacles, some of you could be getting some results. You could be getting the help that maybe you need, because the Five of Pentacles back of the deck, right? Sometimes we do need help, or we need some guidance, or we need some information, but we're stubborn. So there's this underlying energy of being stubborn. Okay, we're focused on the wrong thing. So you do have the ability to turn things around today in an incredibly positive way with that Six of Pentacles. We're moving past our problems, overcoming our issues. And how? By being flexible. By being flexible, staying positive, communicating in a positive solution-based way will help you get the results that you are looking for. All right. The Six of Pentacles can be a restoration of balance. It can be a surprise, a good surprise, by the way, coming your way. Sometimes when we ask for what we need, we get what we need, even if it's just some help. And, maybe you're feeling a little penny pinch here, Nine of Swords, right before paycheck. Maybe you did, Five of Pentacles, have some unexpected bills, something you weren't expecting, or you didn't have, weren't saving up for. And, sometimes when you put the question out there to somebody, you can get something in return for that. So you might need to ask someone to borrow $20 until Friday or something. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but hey, you know what? The Six of Pentacles is an energy of, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? We help and support each other through the good and through the bad. So you may have someone in your world where you can ask that kind of question too, if you need to. But the Six of Pentacles does restore balance and harmony. It can be something returning to you in a really positive way. And it can also be a little bit of a surprise. So a little bit of found money or something somewhere. Six of Pentacles isn't typically a windfall necessarily, but it can certainly just be that little bit of unexpected resources or money. Sometimes when I get this card, at some point later during the day, I'll find some money in my jeans or jacket pocket, or at the bottom of my purse or something, or hey, every once in a while in the console of my car, which is the worst place to keep any kind of money at all. But so sometimes it's just that little bit of luck that you may need. So it can certainly be a wonderful outcome to your day. We've got the Queen of Swords here as your blessing. So have a conversation. The Queen of Swords is a very decisive energy, very logical, straightforward, honest, and truthful energy. So instead of being in that Nine of Swords energy, tap into your inner confidence, your inner wisdom, and have that conversation, that whatever it is you need to have. even if it's a conversation with yourself. Sometimes we need to talk ourselves down a little bit, okay, or build ourselves up, right? But the Queen of Swords is a great energy to embrace, to resolve issues, to make some decisions, and of course, to speak our mind, speak our truth in a way that can bring us some results. Now, the Queen of Swords can also be the blessing for you today, is a benefactor in some way. So the Queen of Swords is, she gets a bad rap, poor girl. The Queen of Swords is air sign energy, right? So sometimes they can come off a little cold or a little standoffish, right? But the Queen of Swords, in the really positive aspects, is honest, is actually kind, maybe a little bit, doesn't necessarily wear her heart on her sleeve, but has a really good sense of humor, but won't, if you don't do the Queen of Wands dirty, she's not going to do you dirty either. Okay, so this is quite often someone who is very dependable and someone who you can talk to, right? And sometimes maybe you feel like you need to be a little cautious because they're not like, come here for a big warm hug kind of person. It's more like, what's up? There's something on your mind. Well, okay, and they're very like clear cut, but maybe with a little spicy, sarcastic humor thrown in there. So this can be a really good benefactor, someone you can talk to today. Maybe someone that can help you through a problem, give you some advice, some wisdom, okay, or someone who can help you. We've got the Seven of Wands as your advice from Spirit. Stand up, be confident, and face your issues, face your problems. That's the only way we resolve things. Okay, instead of this Nine of Swords, we don't want to live in this energy. We all do get in that energy a little once in a while. We all do worry about things and we do feel a little bit anxious sometimes, right? But there are ways around that. There's ways forward. And, and of course, anyone with anxiety issues, no one's ever going to try and downplay those. Those are real, right? And, they defy logic sometimes too. But sometimes we do need to just really tap into our well inside and just turn around, face something, and deal with it. And the Eight of Wands that's here shows you that when you do that, when you turn, face your issues, face your challenge, just be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, just be confident, okay? And then you'll resolve things, right? So we're moving on. We do have the Seven of Wands, but we've got the Eight of Wands moving us past our issues here as well. Some of you may actually need to put up some boundaries here because we do have two cards that can certainly represent some boundaries. If you're at work, maybe you're a Nine of Swords, worried about your workload. Perhaps there's been some people that have left the company and your company hasn't replaced them yet, and now you're feeling a lot of pressure. The Six of Pentacles, someone could actually hire someone today or agree that you need another person in your department, right? Because maybe your work is starting to suffer and you don't like that, right? Your sense of pride is going to take a little bit of a hit because even though you've got more responsibility than you should or a bigger workload than you should, right? It feels like you're responsible for it. So you could be resolving that through an honest and open conversation today and just turning and facing things. But you could be putting up those boundaries though that says, okay, this needs to stop, all right? And, lay things out in a clear, logical manner. And, that's quite often the way to resolve our issues. But the Seven of Wands, believe in yourself, stand strong, stand in your personal power. Okay, draw that line in the sand if you need to draw a line in your sand. Focus on these, finding a solution to things, and you will move past anything that is giving you a little bit of a challenge today. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. If so, please do like, share, and subscribe. I thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.